I don't know if all of you can hear me. None of your videos are on, so I can't actually see any of your beautiful faces. So if you want to put your video on, just let me know, just so I can actually see if you can hear me. There we go. Can you all hear me? Hi, everyone. Awesome. Okay, lovely. So welcome, everyone. My name is Nikki, and I'm the office manager at Pro Talent Recruitment. And let me actually try and get my face on the main screen. Let me try and figure that out. Marlene, we're just seeing your name. In video, there we go. There we go. Hello, everyone. Okay, so welcome everyone once again. My name is Nikki. I'm the office manager at Pro Talent Recruitment. And today we're going to be speaking about something really, really interesting, something I'm very excited about. It's about how to stand out in an overcrowded job market. So this is something that as a recruiter kind of comes second nature to me. I mean, there's so many tips and tricks I can teach you that honestly sometimes I forget that that I remember all these things and other people don't. So often when I get applications or people talk to me and they create such a bad impression with me, that I think, how do you not know that people perceive you in this way, or by acting like this you actually completely jeopardizing your whole job search. So the point of today is to go over lots and lots of tips and tricks for you to how to stand out in the job market. Some of it, I warn you, is a lot of work. So I often, when I interview people and I say, listen, maybe try this, maybe try that, they go, oh, Nikki, it's just so much work. Can't I just pay someone to do it for me? And I'm like, you're missing the point. You know, if you want to stand out, you have to really give 110% and then try more than the average person is doing. So topics we're going to cover are your first impressions. It's going to be social networking, how to build a network, and lastly, we're going to go over upskilling. Okay, so I think if more people are joining, let me just quickly, I might pause every now and then and just let people join. I think there are some people who are running late, so just excuse me if I pause for a second. But yeah, so let's get started. So what I wanted to actually go over first is a little story with you. And this story is going to teach you about the importance of first impressions. And this is quite related to recruitment. So try and like link it to the recruitment world while I'm talking to you. So I'm a runner and I need a new pair of running shoes. Now I've been running for a couple of years. I've actually been very naughty and I've been wearing the same shoes for over a year. And they're wearing down quite a lot. Anyway, so I see this new advert come up for the latest edition of Nike shoes, and they look amazing. It's a limited edition, and I see they come in different colors, but I wanted the pink and blue one, and I couldn't find it anywhere. So I went to Sportsman's Warehouse, I went to the Durban Runner Shop. No one had the specific color of the Nike shoes I wanted. So they had the brand, or they had something similar, or they had the same colors in a different brand, but no, I was very set on these shoes. And so one day when I got home, I pulled out all the mail from the mailbox and I noticed this really crumpled piece of paper in there. And I think, oh, this is interesting, this is different. So I pull it out and it's a little poster, you know, it's like a little flyer from a little shop down the road saying that they have latest running shoes, and they actually had a picture of my running shoes in my color on the front. So I think, oh my goodness, this is so exciting. There are my running shoes right in front of my eyes, and I get really excited. But the piece of paper that was presented to me was crumpled. It almost felt like they shoved it in the mailbox. So I thought, okay, well, these things happen. And I'm trying to read the text. I'm trying to see the address, but the printing was actually so bad I could barely read what was on the paper. But I thought, you know what? These are the shoes. I'm going to make a plan. I'm going to find this place. So I managed to decipher the road name. I managed to find the crumpled writing in the bottom. I found the telephone number. And I thought, I'm going to call immediately. I'm going to get through. I'm going to go pick up these shoes. So I phone, and no one answers. So I phone again. No one answers. So I think, oh, well, they must be busy. These things happen. I'll phone again tomorrow. Tomorrow comes, I phone, still no answer. And I think, okay, well, I'm going to try in the afternoon again. Anyway, so I phoned in the afternoon. Eventually someone answered, but the person who answered sounded half asleep and very surprised that I was phoning, which I thought was very odd since they're a shop. So upon asking this person, do you have these shoes? This phone line was terrible. I could barely hear them. they were mumbling. I really didn't understand what they were saying. But eventually they just said, yes, we've got shoes. So I'm like, okay, well, you know what? It's actually around the corner from me. It's not too far. I'm going to go see them on the weekend when I'm actually traveling past them. So I put my GPS on, drive there, and I'm looking carefully, but all I see is a whole bunch of really dingy looking shops. And I'm thinking, this looks a bit dodgy. Maybe I have the address wrong. So I double check, no, it's the correct address. And I think, well, let me park at the shopping center around the corner and walk there. And as I walked there, there's some people hanging around outside. And I was very uncomfortable. I didn't really know if this was the proper shop. And it's a big sliding door. I open it up, and all I get is the overwhelming smell of cigarette smoke. And I think, okay, well, there's some shoes in here at least, which is a good start. So it does look like a shop. And I walk in, and I can't find anyone. I'm looking for the salesperson. I can't see anything. And I start wandering around, and eventually someone finds me, and they look at me, and they go like, hey, what do you want? And I say, hey, and I bring the little poster up, and I'm like, I want these shoes. These are the shoes I want. And they point in the corner, and I walk there, and it's not the shoes at all. It's a completely different brand. And I said, no, but these are the shoes I want, you know, the one on your poster. And they said, no, we've just got shoes. So eventually I get very frustrated, and I walk out, and I think that was a whole bunch of false promises. From the get-go, the impression was so bad. Like literally everything was screaming at me that this is completely fake. But you know what? I really need those shoes. I really need them. And I was just so excited that I finally found the promise of these shoes that I completely overlooked every red flag along the way. Now, if any of you can tell the difference between recruitment and shoes, my whole point is that this is what recruitment is like. A company says we need a bookkeeper, and they need one. They're not going to go for any specific fancy type of person. They want a bookkeeper. And often what happens is then people present their CVs in various ways, whether they go there in person or they email it through. Either way, presentation is 9 out of 10, no, 8 out of 10. I'd say pretty bad. Very few times in my career been very impressed with someone from start to finish. Very rare that actually happens. There's always red flags along the way, but that's human nature. We are not perfect. We cannot present ourselves perfectly at all times. And someone in recruitment and in HR, I perfectly understand this. So I'm never expecting someone to be flawless from the start. And I think that's also something I need to remind you of. We are all humans. And recruitment and job searching is such an emotional thing. Like at least 3-4 times a day, I have someone calling me, almost crying on the phone, telling me they have no food, telling me they desperately need work. They'll do anything, you know. And this is recruitment. This is what I experience, and I'm sure this is what many of you experience in your day-to-day life. It's an emotional process. You don't know what to expect. Each party, whether the recruiter or the candidate, they don't really know what's happening. You're kind of just hoping you're both heading in the right direction. And so I understand recruitment can be quite a difficult process, but it doesn't excuse sometimes some very shocking behavior I have seen from candidates and actually recruiters as well. Because everyone is human, and there is this reputation that recruiters or HR personnel don't treat their candidates with respect. And so I understand this. I come from both ends. I really can understand. But just remember, even if you are being treated badly by a company, it just means you don't want to work there. Don't take it further. Don't badmouth into other people. Don't, contact someone and complain and go to Hello Peter, because that kind of stuff can bite you back sometimes. So just keep your job search to yourself. Keep strong and keep trying. But remember, you need to put your best foot forward. And even if someone's treating you badly, don't attack them. You can just say, well, I was hoping for better, but okay, that's fine. So anyways, my point is that story is there are so many red flags along the way, and I'm going to help you identify these red flags. Because what often happens is when I interview candidates, I say, do you know by you saying this, you're implying this? And they go, oh my goodness, I had no idea they came across that way. And I'm like, no, I know you didn't. That's why I'm telling you, don't do that again. And so that's what I'm here to do today, to help you through little red flags. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to do a screen share so you can see my computer screen. And I'm actually going to take you through some applications that I've received. Now, I have blurted out the names. I've blurted out any information you could possibly find, so you won't know who the person is. But I'm going to show you. Let me sort this out. There we go. Okay, so this is my computer screen. Let's go through some CV submissions. Now, this is the first line of introduction. This is literally someone's handshake. So if they're meeting you in person and they're giving you a handshake, sending your CV through to a company is the equivalent. You are literally introducing yourself. Every single thing about that email is so, so important. You have no idea. Down to your email address. I mean, I had an email come from a sexybaby101 at gmail.com, and I thought, whoa, okay, that's interesting. I wouldn't call myself that, but you know, so something like that. If you have a dodgy sounding email address, I would make a plan, maybe start a new Gmail account and use that rather, just because sexybaby101 is just really not professional. Okay, so let's go through some bad applications. So again, I don't want you to get the impression that I'm talking bad about anyone or anything. This is just, we are here to learn how to stand out. And I'm showing you right now what's not standing out. There's nothing wrong with sending an application like this, but understand that I receive thousands of CVs and applications just like this, which means if you are sending it like this, you are not standing out. And this is why we are still looking for work. So here's application number 1. As you can see, I've blurted out everything so you don't know who this is. But yeah, this is a person who sent their CV to me quite a while ago. Curriculum vitae, and their CV is attached. I don't know anything about them. I don't know what they're applying for. I mean, as a recruiter, I advertise, well, on a good month, I'll advertise anywhere from 20 to 30 jobs. Okay, it's really quiet now because of the whole pandemic, but I have no idea what job they're applying for. And 90% of the time when I receive an application like this, I am so sure that they've sent their CV out just to thousands of email addresses, just hoping someone will read it. But this is just a really, really bad application. I don't know anything about them. They're putting no effort in whatsoever. This literally tells me spray and pray. They're just sending their CV wherever they can. There's no effort put into this whatsoever. And as a company, our policy is to respond to every single CV sent to us. So I will respond to this person. But you know what they'll get from me? Probably some sort of automated response where I'm just like, thank you for your CV. Tell me a bit more about yourself. Because I can't gather anything about you from this. This is literally like you running into my office, throwing your CV down and running out. I don't know you. I don't know anything about you. You're literally just saying, hey, there's my CV. And I'm like, I don't even know what you're applying for. I don't even know what you want to do. Tell me about yourself, you know. That's a bad application. Number 2. Let's just get to the next one. There we go. Forwarded. I love these ones. Oh, I love them. I'm being sarcastic. I don't love them. So people often, again, put no effort into their CVs and to their applications. Look at this, forwarded. And this is actually only one. I was trying to look for one where there's multiple ones. So often what happens is there's like a list of like 20 different places they forwarded their CV to. Did you know if you forward your CV, I can see you forwarded? This comes along with any forwarded message. So please don't forward your email to anyone. We can see it. We can see it immediately. So especially when it's been forwarded time and time and time and time again. Also, just picking up little stumpies here is that, look at that, forward, unentitled. Look at their CV. I can't even read that actual CV because it's a different format. So touching on that, submit your CV in either Word or PDF. That means everyone can read it. This person submitted their CV in a file format that my computer doesn't recognize. So it could be, I don't know, like I don't even know what formats my computer can't recognize, but PDF and Word, I've never had a problem with. So don't ever send your CV in any other format besides Word and PDF because the person won't be able to read it, or normally won't be able to read it. But yeah, anyways, you can see here the CV does not have a name. So let's just say somehow I liked your CV and I want to save it. And me being a recruiter, I have thousands of CVs saved on my computer. I download your CV and I get distracted and I'm busy doing something else. And I come back and I'm like, oh, where's this person's CV? I now have to open up thousands of CVs to try and find yours. Always name your CV after your name. So you can say Nicky Henderson CV, that sort of thing. Put your name on your CV, make sure the format is PDF or Word, and please don't forward things and leave it obviously where it's been forwarded. You need to actually make some effort. Again, this shows no effort at all. At all. They didn't even title it I'm applying for a job. This is literally 1% effort, which is what people do. And this is always why as a recruiter, I'm like, I don't understand why people can't see this, why people don't understand why they're not getting called for interviews, because you're putting in no effort whatsoever into your application. Okay, so that's another one. Okay, so this one's also, I mean, at least I know what he's applying for. That's nice, you know, but please if I attach my CV. Again, I mean, there's something there, which is better than nothing. But this is, I mean, you're not creating a good impression. It's not a bad impression, don't get me wrong. I don't want you to feel like I'm hating on people who just send through their CVs. It's just, again, thousands and thousands of CVs coming through. You want to do everything you possibly can to stand out. So again, CV's not named after them. At least it's in a word, at least in a format I can understand and read. But yeah, so this one, not great either. No effort, I mean, 2% effort put in for this one. It's all right, you know, if I desperately needed to look at CV applications for finance controller, at least I know it's them. Okay, next one is job application. Oh, as I told you, some people forget to BCC things and they put them in the CC. And then I get a list of all the people they've sent their CVs to. Also, by the way, if you BCC people, you can also, you can't see the email addresses, but what will happen is you'll notice the BCC section will be up there and it'll be blank. And the to section will be blank. That's when I know you BCC people. And when people BCC or send their CV out to so many people, chances are it's not a great application for anything. Because they're not actually even applying for anything. He's actually not applying for anything because if you're sending a CV out to so many people, there's nothing specific he's applying for. He's basically just saying, hey, here's my CV, please help me find work, which is all right, it's fine, but he's not standing out. And also, please recruit me. I'd give that a 0.5% effort. You know, it's just no originality, there's nothing there. It's not great, it really isn't. Okay, so just remember, if you BCC people, which you must never, ever do when applying for jobs, we can see it, so don't do it. Yeah, as I said, the BCC section will come up underneath here, and it'll be blank, and the to section will also be blank. That's how we know you've BCC, so just don't do it. Next, actually, here's a good application. Let's go through some good applications. So this is actually a decent application. She's actually given the position she applied for. Kudos to her. CV, she put her name there. Great. She addressed me by my name. 5% effort there because that's great because my name is on my email address. So if you don't put my name in the application to me, I know you're not really putting in 100% effort. So she's addressed me by my name. She said, okay. So actually in this case, she was a candidate that we'd interviewed ages ago. And I had SMS'd her to say I'd emailed her about the vacancy. And in this case, she addressed that, which is why I put this here. Because a lot of people just say, hey, here's my CV, and they expect me to know that I've either spoken to them or that I've SMS'd them, because I forget. The thing is, we deal with so many people and so many applications in so many different ways that I forget that I've phoned you, and I forget that I've contacted you. And also, to say her name is Susie, I've spoken to 5 Susies today already, so I'm not going to remember. So whenever you're applying or whenever you've spoken to someone and they ask you to do something for them and you want to send through the information that they've asked you to do, don't assume that they'll remember. And I am saying this because you have no idea the volume of people we deal with. And although you might have a really unique name, and chances are if you have a unique name, I will remember you, just assume that we'll forget. So she said here, I saw an SMS saying, for this position, and I never got the email, which is great. So now I know exactly what she's talking about. I'm like, yes, I remember her. I remember that situation. I'm going to now email her the full job spec. So I like that she addressed the situation. And she also put her CV on, attached to my CV. So this is a nice application. Nice and neat, but I also like it there wasn't too much reading. Now, human nature, as I said, none of us are perfect. Recruiters read so many CVs and so many emails a day that we get lazy. So you want your emails to be short and simple. I like this email. It was nice and short to the point. Some people feel the need to add in information in between, like, hey, you know, I have 20 kids. I've been unemployed for 10 years. I need food, you know, that sort of thing, which is, I mean, I understand the situation. It's not great. And you want the person to know that, you know, that you need help. But at the same time, we read about 50 emails like that a day. So we're a bit numb to it. So try not to include any personal stories about your home life or anything. If you can, just stick right to the point. And this is brilliant. This is to the point, direct, easy to read. She even left gaps in between, which is so nice, because when there's huge chunks of text where it's just literally like squished together and it's just this massive paragraph like that big of just lots of writing, my mind just gets tired automatically. So nicely laid out. I like that one. Okay, this is also a really nice one. So, excuse me. So we have here an application for a position advertised. Oh, I should have put water with me, sorry. Okay, so this is kind of the verge of just enough text. Anything more than that, my brain would have switched off. So this is nice, easy to read, nice short sentences, nicely laid out, gaps in between, easy to read. Just a little tip and trick. If you ever need to somehow present a lot of information to someone, do it in bullet points. It's just so much easier to read. The human brain is lazy, naturally. And so bullet points make it easy for the eye to follow, easy to read, easy to understand. So if you ever need to list anything, bullet point it. Okay, so in this case, she said, I've seen your advert, awesome. And she addressed me with my name, and she put good morning, that's lovely. She even addressed that she hasn't done her one exam that she needs to do for this, which is wonderful. I don't mind people taking chances and applying for jobs that they're not actually qualified for. As long as you address it to me and you say, listen, I know I don't have the BCom degree that you were looking for, but I'm working on it. I'm registered, that sort of thing. So I like the fact that you're trying. But she also compensates it by saying, I don't have the qualification. She's willing to take it, but she has got many years experience. I like experience, I like that. Okay, so a little bit of stories, wants to move to Durban, which is great that she addressed that, because 90% of the time when people apply for a job and they're not from the area, this is something recruiters do to shortlist, is if you're not from that area, we'll automatically put you on the lower sort of shortlisting level. So for example, if you live in Joburg and you're applying for a Durban job, I'm already thinking like, you have to relocate your whole family, and does your wife approve of this? And it's such a schlep. The company's not going to pay for you to relocate, so you have to pay for yourself to move. I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into relocation. So I automatically think, I'm going to favor someone who's rather from the area, which is so true. And I know people who often apply for, okay, we're all from Durban, so we're all applying for Joburg or Cape Town jobs, and you think, why haven't they shortlisted me? I can do this job. But unfortunately, recruitment is such that we favor people who live in the area. Okay, so I love that she addressed that she wants to move back to Durban. I'm so sorry, I don't have the coronavirus, I promise. I just a dry throat. Okay, so I love that she addressed she wants to move back to Durban, because that's important, because what will happen is I'll open her CV, see she's from Joburg, and go, oh, Joburg, no, man, it's a schlep. But because she addressed it in the email saying, I'm happy to move, I have family in Durban, I'm from Durban, I'll say, all right, cool, easy move for you. You're coming back to Durban. Okay, so really, really nice application. Yeah, I loved it. She even had her name on her CV. Brilliant application, 10 out of 10. I actually interviewed her and hopefully getting her a job. So that's great. I think that's that for, oh, hold on, another good application. Okay, I really like this one too. She didn't have my name in there, -1 point, but not bad at all. Really nice, neat application. I like that. She put the title in the job, in the subject. Applying for the position. I don't possess insurance experience, but I have that. Mentioned what she does. Amazing application. Short, sweet, to the point, no stories. No life stories there. People often include their life stories in their emails. You'll be surprised how personal things get. Don't do personal stuff. Please don't. So yeah, beautiful application. I'm happy with that. To the point, easy to read, direct. Happy with that. Okay, so I think, is there one more left? No, I think that's it. Okay, so we've gone over some good and some bad applications. So I hope that's helped you to some degree to visually see the kind of applications that we get, just so you can understand what you should do and what you shouldn't do. So just to recap on your email, trust me, spelling, the way you write your email, how you write your email, what you say in your email, every single thing you do will be judged. If I spot any spelling errors, If you spell my name wrong, for example, even though my name is on my email address, it just shows you not trying. What I want to see from you, if you want to stand out from the job market, you have to try more than you're currently trying. You have to put in more effort. And I know people often go, oh, really, what's the point? No one ever gets back to me anyway. It's like, what's the point of me even putting your name there? You're probably not even reading my email. Trust me, we do. We really do, especially if we know you're applying for a specific job that we actually need someone for. Okay, so that is applications. So let's touch on some good ways to apply. So as I mentioned before, you need to address the person you're applying to. You need to address the job title in your application. And let's just say, for example, you're applying to a recruitment agency, not for any specific job. People often do this, and there's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to apply for a specific job at a recruitment agency. You could just send your CV through. Hello, Nikki, how are you doing? I see you specialize in insurance jobs. You know what? I come from the industry. I have these qualifications. I have this experience. If you happen to have anything for me, just let me know. Cool. Automatically, I promise you, I'll give you more time and I'll read your CV a bit more constructively. Okay. So also a lot of people, so you might look at these and go, oh man, you can see these people are being lazy. I put some nice stuff there in my email. I say, hello, my name is Susie and I do this and I do that. But the problem is you might be copying and pasting. And this is something we can see. Believe it or not, we can tell. So your name is Susie and you're in a PA, which is quite a general job, and you're applying to 20 different companies. And instead of just sending your CV like this person's done over here, you're actually writing a nice little write-up about yourself. But you are copying and pasting the same write-up to every application. First of all, we'll be able to tell when copying and pasting something, the text actually comes up differently. It normally comes up a different color. Did you know that? So when you are copying and pasting the same text as is into another email, it's either a different color. I normally see it as blue. Normally my writing is black. So if I see a blue writing, I know you copied and pasted it. And or if it comes up in italics, or it'll look different, let me put it that way. It'll look very different from a normal email. So all the emails I've showed you, this is what my normal emails look like. This is what it will come up like. This is normal. She did not copy and paste this. Also, I know she didn't copy and paste it because she's mentioned the job in the thing, in the email. So, guys, I'm so sorry. My throat's killing me. Do you mind if I just take 2 seconds and get some water? I'm so sorry. I'm going to be back. I'll be back. 2 seconds. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. I just don't want to be coughing all over the computer screen. Okay, so yeah, as I was saying, we can tell if you copied and pasted. So please do not copy and paste. It is very obvious. So yeah, so this is what a normal application looks like. And also, if you're computer smart, you know your way around a computer, you can actually reformat your copied and pasted text, and it'll look like you've written it. But the problem is that your application will be so generic, and this is also something that really, really important. Hi, my name is Susie. I'm PA. I've been doing PA work for 20 years. I've been asset to your organization. I'm applying for the job that you've advertised on the internet, and I'm the best person you'll have for this job. Thank you. It's not great. You're not putting in any effort. Okay, you're putting some effort in. I'll give you that. But it's so generic. It's so generic. I think in my mind, you probably use that same job little text for about 20 other jobs. It's just too generic. When applying for a job, mention the job in your application. I'm applying for your insurance admin job. You know, I'm applying for this. I meet your requirements. You told me I needed a BA degree. I've got your BA degree. You know, that sort of thing. So don't be generic, please. Your email is the first line of reference. It's your golden opportunity to stand out. And this is where people don't use it. They literally just, I don't understand how important it is to actually create such a good impression in your first email. I mean, I've even had people be really quirky and say, hey, Nikki, you know, my second name is Nicky. I don't know, whatever the case is. They make jokes, and you know, I like jokes. So just make it interesting, you know, because we see so many applications. The more interesting you make it, the better. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, so we've spoken at length about applications already. So now you can see, like, when we look at so many applications, why it's so important to stand out. Okay. All right, also a really important point is don't let anyone else send your CV. Don't do it. I understand certain situations where your internet's broken, your computer's broken, you can't send it, and you don't want to miss out on an application phase. That is fine. There are circumstances where it's okay that someone else sends your CV, but if you can help it, please don't let anyone else send your CV. I see it time and time again, parents sending their children's CVs, siblings sending their CVs, saying, hey, Nicky, recruiter lady, here's my sister's CV. Do you got anything for her? You know, and although that's not great, you know, sister, if you want a job, send me your CV yourself and talk to me yourself. You know, it's all about effort. It's all about how much effort you put into your job search. And we can tell immediately when you're putting an effort into your job search. Okay, so just remember to keep your application short and sweet. Please, please don't put lots of text. We don't want your life story. Okay, so next is CV presentation. Now, this is something I'm also very passionate about. We've done so many videos on this. So if any of you want to actually watch our videos, if you go on our website, you'll find them all there. So let's have a look at some CVs. Let's have a look at some acceptable ones. So I've got them put in various ways. But here's an acceptable CV. So I don't want any of you to feel, oh, I don't have money to pay for someone to do my CV, therefore I just need to do a Word document, and I'm doing it because all I'm doing is a Word document. No, 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 no. Trust me, all we're looking out for is something that we can read, and that's makes sense, and that's logical. And we'll go through some bad applications so I can show you what's not logical. But here's a nice one. Obviously, this lady, I mean, she knows her way around Word. Excuse me. She's put here, it's all beautifully laid out. Now, I didn't completely blurt out all the text just because I want you to see how she laid it out. Nicely aligned, beautiful bullet points. We love bullet points. Makes it nice and easy to read. Now, imagine if there weren't bullet points here and this text was just a list of like random text. I don't know, bullet points are just awesome. Just use them where you can. Also nicely done here. Now, I've actually removed her information here. Here she had all the information done. So, beautiful. To the point, direct, and she also, her name was up here, and she also had her little cell phone number there, and the email here, and she had all her contact details there. You'll be surprised how many people leave their contact details out of their CV. It drives me nuts. It absolutely drives me nuts. You apply for my job, and I try to call you, and there's no number on your CV. So I know it's super obvious and super logical, but some people miss it. So just make sure your contact details are there, and that they are valid. I cannot tell you how many people apply for jobs, and I try to find them, no response, and I email them and I say, hey, is your number right? And they go, oh, oopsie, sorry, I've actually changed my number. It just means you put no effort into your application. It means you haven't even bothered telling me that your CV isn't up to date. Okay, so this is a good application. This is an acceptable CV. It's not screaming at me, but at least it's not, you know, difficult to read, which is the most important thing. Is some people don't lay out their CVs properly, and it's so difficult to read. And as I said, we read so many CVs a day where I look at a CV sometimes and I just think, this is a headache just looking at it. You do not want that reaction from anyone. You want it to be logical, easy, and just everything they need is there. So this is an acceptable application. Another one. So again, I'm reminding you guys that you don't need to spend money on your CV to make it stand out. It helps, but I'll go over some free stuff a bit just now. But I mean, getting your CV professionally done, if you can, if you have the money, I would recommend it. But there are ways to make your CV even better than paying someone, and I'll go over that a little bit just now. But here's a nice CV. Everything is in line. So, you know what? The human brain works in such a way, something's easy to read, we'll want to read it. And this is beautiful in line. See that? Notes. I often get CVs where this is over there, and that's over there, and it's not in line, and everything's, you know, out of alignment. It's just nasty to look at. Everything is there. Okay, I've removed all the information, so you can't see anything. But I've basically left everything here, the basics. So you can see, nicely laid out here. Easy to read, easy to follow, everything I need is there. Now, I did actually leave the first letters open here so you can see that this wasn't perfectly aligned. Although it's not a train smash, I don't want you guys to feel we're hating on you because your dots didn't line up perfectly here. But it's just, it's if it was perfectly in line, I'd be very impressed, you know. But it's not perfectly in line. That's okay. It's not the end of the world. But it would just make a CV so nice. I love alignment. People love neatness and orderliness on a CV. Trust me. If your CV is messy and just out of alignment and it just shows no effort being put in. And trust me, effort is everything. Okay, so that's an acceptable CV. Here is a nice one. I like the included his face. It was awesome. I love pictures. I love seeing your face, nice and professional. No duck faces, and believe it or not, I get lots of those. So ladies, young pretty ladies often put their duck faces on their CVs, which it's questionable, but yeah, I don't know what they're applying for, but yeah, so just keep your pictures professional, please. It's quite funny. I've received some very funny photos, and I'm a lady, so I can't even imagine what they're sending to men. But yeah, so these are some of the photos that we received. I mean, this is very nice. See how beautiful. Oh, this is amazing. Look how in line that is. That's gorgeous. Okay, everything is there, everything you needed. I've actually removed all his information so no one knows who he is, but absolutely awesome. I really like that application. Okay, next is another acceptable application. Again, we get all different types of CVs, and a lot of people feel that they might be at a disadvantage because they don't have money to redo a CV every day, or you know, so they literally have one that was done by their auntie or uncle a couple of years ago, and they keep sending the same one out. Which is, I think this is probably an example of one because you can see it's been printed and photocopied, which again is not bad. It's not a bad thing. You're not at a disadvantage because you don't have money to make a good CV. This is actually a very decent CV. It's clear. I can read what's on here. It's in alignment. All the information I need is there. It's functional. It does the job. It's fine. Okay, bad applications. This is someone who did not try. Can you see this? Personal details. Okay, they have the information there. First of all, there's barely any personal information here. Like, you can put a lot more information about yourself. Employment history. I mean, this looks like it took someone 5 minutes and they just quickly typed it up. When I see a CV like this, I'm not hating, but I'm just thinking you could have done so much better. Like, there's so much more you could have done to make the CV beautiful. I mean, it really 5 out of 10. I mean, 5 out of 10, 50%. It's okay, but I mean, it's not standing out to me. And remember, the whole point of this webinar is how to stand out. This is not standing out. Okay. Again, there's nothing wrong with scanning a CV. I don't recommend it. If I may be very picky and voice my opinion, I would not recommend sending through a scanned CV. There's just so much room for error. In this case, I could barely read. I've got bad eyesight. I could barely read what they were saying, which wasn't great. So I really wouldn't. I wouldn't scan a CV. If you can, don't send scanned CVs. Yeah. Anyway, so that was a bad application. Let's go to another bad application. There we go. Okay, this was an example of how a bad example of how duties was laid out, but in the worst way. I left the first few lines so you could see, not in alignment. Also, I wanted to point out that there was lots of inconsistencies. So this is consistent. That one is contact details missing. As a recruiter, I'm questioning, why would you leave out the contact details? Did you end badly there? When people don't put references in, it's normally because there's something bad that happened there. This is just general stereotyping. Okay, out of alignment, that was actually meant to go over there. Oh, look, this, I don't know what that is. What's that doing there? Okay, that's weird. And then look, the last position, or the most current position, the layout was completely different. It's just design inconsistencies. Again, if I received a CV like this, I'm not hating on them, I will still read it, but it's just not standing out to me. There's inconsistencies. It's just, I mean, it's scanned as well. Okay, I'm not hating on scanned CVs, but it just, you know, I want to see something that just wows me, you know, and this is not wowing me. Okay, so that's that one. And also, look at the title of it. He or she didn't even put her name. So again, not great. No effort put in. Oh, this is a good one. Okay, so this person knows how to use Word quite well because they actually had a picture here. It was a picture of a landscape. Now, I blurted out all her contact details, which means you can't see how beautifully it was designed, but all her contact details here was so nicely laid out, little pictures, it was gorgeous. And then she had a long little about her over here. And then summary was over here as well. Personal information, I blurted out everything there, but it was all nicely aligned. Work experience, it was gorgeous. Everything was put there, bullet points, very nice. So this is a lovely application. And again, people tell me, oh, I don't have money, I can't get someone to, I can't pay someone. But this is all done on Word. So if you just know how to use Word properly, you can make some beautiful CVs. It was a good application. I like that one. The picture made my day. I like pictures. Okay, so I wanted to actually chat to you about something completely different. So if you want to stand out, here's some experimentation for you. So we actually experimented this month. And instead of sending a candidate CV to a client, we sent them this. So this is a lady who was okay with being put out there. I still even wrote it out in her face just in case. But she was put on what we call a top talent. Now, top talent is when we interview someone and we like them so much and they're so highly marketable. Their skills are so rare and so sought after that we put them on what's called the top talent, which means we're exposing them to our clients. Now, normally we keep it completely anonymous. We don't put names, contact details, nothing on there. We literally just say, Indian female, lives in Westfall, looking for digital marketing work, looking for a salary of whatever, and that's normally what we send up. But we tried to experiment this month, and instead of being completely anonymous, with her permission, of course, and she's unemployed, so it was fine, we put her face, we put her name, and we put the basics, and we had her do a video. I cannot tell you the amazing, quick, responsive feedback we got from this video. Now, we did this for 7 other candidates. All of them got interviews. All of them got interviews up front, just like that. This never happens. So this is something highly experimental. Personally, I would say try it because it's worked so well for us. Try and include a video of yourself on your CV. Now, this is where you have to have some computer savviness. Actually, if you know how to use and you have access to a computer and internet, I can actually teach you how to do it. It's actually really easy. But we linked the video to a picture. So when you click on the picture, it took you to a video of her saying, hi, my name is Susie. This is what I do. I'm ready to be employed. Hello, and clients freaked out about it. So this is very experimental. I wanted to show you guys. This is something different. So you might even, instead of sending a CV, send this instead. If I receive something like this, especially with this video, holy moly, I'd blow my mind. But I've never received an application with a video. Just something to think about is try and create a video. And I've actually told a couple of my friends this, and they're like, video, too much effort. And I think, well, that's why you're still unemployed. You have to stand out. You have to try. People think that, oh, there's too much effort. They're not even going to view my CV. I don't care anymore. Well, you saying you don't care anymore, it's coming across in every single thing you do. The way you send your email, the way your CV looks. I can see everywhere written there that you don't care about your application. Although you really might, you're not showing it at all. So this is something interesting to try out. If any of you want more information, I'm going to touch on it just now, but there's a lot more. As long as you have steady internet connection and you have a nice computer or decent computer that can use the internet, you can do this by yourself for free. Okay, so that's something I just wanted to show you that it's so amazing. And the thing is, she can send this and people will love it, but you can also attach her CV. So you can send this and say, listen, here's my one pager, here's my other CV in case you want all the information. So you don't have to feel like, oh, but this doesn't even contain my recent job. Like, how is it even relevant? Well, you know what? This is just a one-page introduction. This is the best handshake you'll ever have right here. And then next is the paperwork after that, so you can send your CV in afterwards. So just something to think about. I'm not saying you have to do it. I'm not saying if you don't do it, you're the worst. But you got to stand out. And videos are the way forward for the future. So what I have my candidates do is actually WhatsApp me a 1-minute video of them introducing themselves, and I actually load this onto their profile for them. So I'll teach you how to do that a little bit just now. I'll touch on it, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. That's a whole other lecture by itself. So those are some very good applications. I think there's some more. Okay, here's also I want to show you some good a good layout for duties. So a lot of people often put too much on their duties. They put 3 or 4 pages of their duties on their CV. Don't do that. Just put the most important over here. So I like this layout. It had enough information, but not too much. Again, you want to refrain from putting too much text. This one, perfect amount of text. A nice chunky paragraph there. And yeah, so it's really, everything was in alignment, beautiful layout. It was nice and easy to follow, easy to read. I loved it. Good. That was a good example of a layout for duties. You need to include really important stuff, but don't go into general stuff like I answer the phone, I help with queries. That's general. Everyone knows you do that. Include important stuff here that people don't know you do. Okay. Okay, so here is an example of a great CV. And I have to blurt out quite a lot here, so I apologize. It's really messy. Oh crap, I left her name on, sorry. Oh, I'm gonna go out of that, sorry. I left her name on there. Oopsie. But it's a friend, so it's okay. All right, so I'm gonna go straight through to examples of great CVs over here. So this is an example, and I can leave this as is because it's actually not a real person. This is a template from the program I'm gonna show you. So this is a template of someone's CV. Now, as you can see, picture. We love pictures. Put a picture of yourself. We have here what she does. Look how beautiful this is. This is such a nice CV. It's so precise to the point. Now, I've been looking at black and white scan CVs all day, and then I get Susie or Kaya. I get her CV coming through, and I love it. It's colorful. It's not. Sometimes people send like over the top CVs. This is not over the top. This is gorgeous. This is so refreshing compared to the CVs I normally get. So you might think, God, this is complicated. How does one even do this? You got to pay someone to do this. No, you don't. This is a free program you made the CV that I made the CV with. So I'll show you just now that free program. But yeah, it's an example of an amazing CV. I get the CV, I'm crying in happiness because it's so beautiful. Okay. Also, Chad, love your CV, Chad. Look at this. It's a beautiful CV. Direct to the point, not too much. This is a one-pager, guys. Just remember this. This is a one-pager. This is not your whole life history here. What I often do is I'll have the one-pager there and then attach your extended CV with the email. Because people will look at the one-pager. If they like the one-pager, then they'll open up the other CV. You don't want to bombard someone with your whole long life story in your CV with 20 years of experience. You want a one-pager to attract attention, and then you attach your proper CV with it. So this is a beautiful CV. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. Okay, Jamie. Lovely CV. Can you all see how professional and neat and tidy these CVs are? They're not over the top. Sometimes people, I don't know, have like dogs jumping across their CV or something. It's cute. I mean, I love dogs, so it's cute, but I wouldn't do it. Got to keep it professional. And so people don't know if pictures are professional. Trust me, they are professional. Look at that. Now I know what Jamie looks like. She's beautiful. She's a software developer. We need her. So, yeah. So Jamie's a real person, but hey. Okay, another example of a great CV. So some people aren't comfortable putting pictures in their CV. That's all right. I prefer pictures, but if you don't want to, here's an example of one that does not have a picture on. But look how beautiful it is. And she's an interior designer, which just means she's allowed to be so much more creative with her CV. So if you were an accountant, I probably wouldn't go to this extent of design. There's nothing wrong with it. But I mean, you're a numbers person normally, so you wouldn't want to go too crazy. The craziest CVs I've ever seen has been graphic design CVs, and that's amazing because that's what they do. If I get a graphic designer CV that looks like Microsoft Word with two little lines on it, that's not great. We want some pretty CVs, yeah. So this is also a really nice CV. I also like that she's put her social details there because we will stalk you on Facebook, and we will stalk you on LinkedIn, and we will stalk you on Instagram. So just make our lives easy for us and put it all there for us. Again, you don't have to. Some people don't want to, which is fine. But we're going to find you anyways. So just put it on there for us. And what's also really nice is with putting on links here, that sometimes some people have like aliases on Facebook. So they have for example, I would have my Nicolette Henderson page. And it's super professional. I literally only have my work stuff. But then I might have an alias. You never know. All my crazy stuff is on. So you might want to create a profile if you feel very strongly about having crazy stuff on Facebook or LinkedIn. Maybe create an alias so all your friends can see all your strong opinions. But for job searching, you have absolutely no idea how important having a clean Facebook and a clean social media is. And by providing links, we're going to go straight to this one. We're not going to assume you have an alias. We're going to go here and go, oh, that's beautiful, nice and professional. She's good. We can hire her. Where she could have another page where she's a crazy lady, but we won't know. Okay, so those are examples of great CVs. I think there might be one more here. Oh, here's another one. So I like this. Again, the ones I've just shown you are like really fancy. They're really nice. But this is also quite nice. I really like her CV. She did it herself. I actually don't know what program she used. I should ask her. But it's so nice and neat. It literally had her name there, contact details there, LinkedIn, very nice. Little profile, work experience, it's gorgeous, very nice. You can see what nice CVs look like. And now you can see, when I'm looking at CVs all day, that look like this. And then I get a CV that comes through that looks like that. Can you imagine the impact it's having on me? Automatically, I'm completely intrigued. I'm like, oh, there's a face. Oh, colors, you know. So, and you know what, I might be freaking out a little bit too much, but I'm exaggerating how much we freak out. But on the inside, it's happening. And I can tell you, when we see CVs like this, we're automatically completely engaged. So a lot of you are thinking, oh, so much effort, you know, no one actually reads it, who cares? All they need is the information, it's all there, but trust me, you are here to learn how to stand out, and I'm telling you how to stand out. If you present me something like this, it's acceptable, but you're not going to stand out. This is very acceptable, there's nothing wrong with this, but you're not going to stand out. And again, you don't have to spend money to make a beautiful CV like this. I'm going to now show you the program that I used to create this. It is free. It is on the internet. Okay, so I left my social media open. While I was touching on social media, actually I'm just going to quickly go on social media while I have it open. Here is my Facebook. So as you can see, no dodgy stuff. Professional. I've got my jobs listed there. I have a little bit about me. I have some normal looking pictures there and normal stuff. Nothing out of the ordinary. What I often find is there will be a duck face profile photo, maybe some cleavage showing, maybe some dodgy party photos of them drinking on the weekend, their friends tagging them in highly controversial posts about Donald Trump, and some swear words happening here and there. You know, it's just dodgy. Although there's nothing wrong with that, I'm not saying that we're not going to hire you because you have drinking problems, you know, but I have seen it so many times that employers are so scared to hire. They're almost looking for a reason not to hire you. They're checking out. They see you with alcohol in hand. They think that person's an alcoholic. We're not going to hire them. You know, and it's just so stupid. I often have to counsel my clients and say, you cannot hire this person because they have a photo of them drinking on the weekends. Like, it's their own life. It's on the weekends. No, we're not going to hire them. They clearly have a drinking problem. And you can see what we're dealing with here. Companies are really, really fussy. They're really scared to hire. There's just so many legal implications with hiring someone that end up being the wrong person. So companies are very cautious, and you just want to make their lives easier and your life easier, and you want to stand out. How to stand out in an overcrowded job market is clean up your social media. Please clean it up. If you really feel strongly about having a Facebook that's very controversial, or your own personal stuff, you know, some people feel I am who I am. I have tattoos over my whole body. I want the whole world to know this. That's okay. But just know you might be scaring away people who want to employ you. But then again, I say to my clients, because I do have some candidates who are covered in tattoos from head to toe, and I say to them, well, you know what, it's okay, because do you actually want to work for a company who would judge you by your tattoos? So it goes hand in hand, you know. So again, it's your decision. I'm not telling you have to have a perfect social media. I mean, everyone likes a little bit of, you know, a little personality. So you can see there, I've got a picture of me hiking. I love hiking. It's my fiance now, our friends. It's personal, you know. You can get to know me by looking at my Facebook. You know, I have some photos of me and my friends here, all very nice, but no drinking photos. You remove those. You don't leave them on Facebook. So yeah, just touching on your social media, please clean your social media up. Please, 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 please. I've had countless clients who refuse to hire candidates based on their Facebook. I'm not joking. Okay, so let's go to my LinkedIn. Let's go to my LinkedIn. Okay, I know I'm jumping ahead. I was supposed to speak about the CV thing, but while I just have my social media open, I want to show you. LinkedIn is so, so, so important. We have an entire webinar dedicated to LinkedIn. If you go to our YouTube channel, Pro Talent, you'll see a whole hour-long webinar dedicated to LinkedIn. I'm just going to glance over it now. Guys, recruiters live on LinkedIn. We love LinkedIn. All we do all day is spend our time searching for people on LinkedIn. If you do not have an up-to-date LinkedIn with all the information on, you are being left behind. We will not find you. It'll be so much harder to find work. You have to have a good LinkedIn. And again, I have so many people go, oh, okay, LinkedIn's the worst. You know, no one uses LinkedIn, but trust me, we do. Picture, nice professional picture. About me. where I work, what's really important, let's say I was looking for work, is to keep this up to date, is to keep your work up to date. I wish you could see me pointing on my screen right now, but all of this comes up in our searches. So when I'm searching for a branch manager and recruiter, my profile will come up. If I'm searching for an accountant who's used Pastel or Xero, when I look them up, it'll find it on your profile. People, please don't just, I'm not looking for work, so that's why I've left mine really plain and simple. But if I wanted to, I would elaborate on this so much more. I would include the software that we use. I would include, I don't know, any companies I've ever dealt with, anything that might be keywords for companies to search for me. They will find it on my profile. This is where you don't need to be too shy with what you do, because LinkedIn actually lays it out quite nicely, so it's not overwhelming with all the text. But at the same time, if a recruiter is searching for a keyword that I have on my profile, it'll pick me up. Guys, you have to update your LinkedIn. You have to have everything you do here. You see more. Yeah, look at all this. This is way too much text. If I put this on the CV, I wouldn't be happy. Actually, it's not too bad. But I could go a lot. I could do a lot more than this, and it would be fine for LinkedIn. So include everything, keywords, especially on your LinkedIn. Also, the biggest thing about LinkedIn as recruiters use it, the biggest thing that will stand out is not only your work history that I just showed you there, but your title here. This is what it picks up first. So when I search branch manager and recruiter, I will be on the top of the line. But let's just say I had here recruiter. But in my, I'm pointing at my screen, you can't see it, sorry. Let's just say I had here just recruiter. And at the bottom I had there, I'm also a branch manager. I'll be probably third, fourth, fifth in the list. So make sure your title here is relevant. I'm an accountant, a cost and management accountant. I am, make it highly, highly relevant to what you do, and recruiters will pick you up quickly. Okay, I'm going to stop now with LinkedIn because there's so much more I can do, but please sort out your LinkedIn. We have an entire webinar dedicated to it. Please just do it. If you don't, you're getting left behind. Okay, so I want to show you, back to making CVs, sorry about the interruption, is the website's called Canva, canva.com. It is free, guys. You can sign up for it. I'll link it to my Facebook so I don't have to do a password. Okay, so Canva is the best. We use it for everything. Now, when you sign in, you create a profile for yourself. Remember, no money involved. You will come to this page, design anything, as I say. You'll go to resume. Do you see that there, resume? Click on that. Every single CV that I showed you earlier was made here. Actually, they're all templates, so I cheated. I didn't make them. I literally just used, look, see, there's Millie. There's Millie. So you can see it's all here. Just change it. Look. Voila, it's now my CV. And change, and you know how beautiful, how few people use this. It's amazing. No money needed for this. And you can change, you can put pictures in here. Let's look at some pictures. So you upload your own pictures. Oh, sorry, these are my candidates' faces because I'm making CVs for them. It's on my face, there's my face there. I don't know, make it all pretty. I'm sideways, but we can figure that out. Anyways, but you get the picture. So you can actually completely make your own CV in here. Canva.com, it is free. Make your own CV, guys. It is even better than the CVs that someone will make for you if you pay them. The only reason why I say that, because I'm fully aware of about 7 companies in Germany who make CVs. They all use the same templates, all of them. So when I get these CVs, I know exactly who made them. And although it's nice to know that you put effort into getting a CV professionally done, when I see a CV and I look at this and I'm like, I've never seen anything like this before. That's when you know someone's really trying hard. It's beautiful. These CVs are amazing. And there's so many to choose from. There's no templates. Can you see how many there are to choose from here? And you can see I've copied quite a few from here. There's Chad over there. Guys, please use this. Canva's amazing. It's free. There are paid elements, but you can avoid them completely. So as with everything, there's like in-store applications that you could buy or whatever, but you don't need them. So for example, if I wanted to go to photos, and for some unknown reason I wanted a photo of a crown, there are paid ones, which you notice that it says pro? You pay for that. Free? You don't pay for that. Okay, so you can see, you can actually update and make your own CV there. So all free. So anyways, I'm gonna not spend too much time on that. I've already, it's already half past 10. I think, oh, and I'm doing stuff. There's so much more I can talk about. I'm sorry guys, I've run over time. For those who are very pressed for time, I'm gonna quickly skip through the rest. I've actually done a bit of it now. I'm looking at what I had to do. I've spent on LinkedIn, I've spent on social media. So I've kind of jumbled up my headings, but I've covered the content. So social media was all meant to be under building a network. So guys, searching for a job and job, you know, it's a full-time job searching for a job, really it is. You're meant to spend about 7 hours a day or something ridiculous like that looking for a job, and that's normally when you'll find a job soon. But your LinkedIn, you can actually improve your LinkedIn, which is what I mentioned already, but also use LinkedIn to grow your network. So let's go back to LinkedIn. You can actually add people. So what I normally do, is I spend my entire days on LinkedIn adding HR managers because they are my target market. They are people I want to sell to. They are people I want as clients. What you need to do as a job searcher is look up HR managers because you want to be employed by them. So you can literally go here, HR managers. And what will happen is we'll give you a list of HR managers and you just start adding them all on. And hopefully one day someone will notice you and you get a job. But yeah, my point is that you need to just grow your network through social media. And in all these, see, these are actually companies that do HR, which is great. What might be jobs? Let's go to people. So we're going to now go to all HR managers, start adding them. Trust me, you don't even need to say anything yet. You can just go connect and done. It'll send them, and sometimes what happens is, let's just say that this gentleman here was looking for a bookkeeper, and I happen to be a bookkeeper, and I add him, and he sees my invitation, he's like, she's a bookkeeper, we actually need one, let me chat to her. So that can happen too. So don't feel like you have to be super strategic about who you add, just start adding HR managers. I get thousands of invitations, exaggerating, I don't get that many, but I get a lot of invitations, and people they just add me, and that's fine, I accept them. So use LinkedIn to build neural networks. An important thing is not to burn bridges. This is logical, but it comes up a lot in interviews with candidates. Is when I interview them and they go, oh, that last company I worked for, they were the worst ever. Like they treated me so badly, I ended up leaving and I absconded. I didn't even talk to them. So don't phone them for reference, just by the way. And I go, that's not great. So although I'm with you, although you might have been victimized completely, it's just not great to abscond from a company. You don't want to burn bridges because it will come back to bite you. I cannot tell you how many times I've interviewed candidates and I've seen their CV through going, okay, I know they have absconded from their last company, but please, it was such a bad situation. I know the company, I know how horrible they are. And the client goes, actually, I know one person there, and actually your person is dodgy. So just make sure that you don't burn any bridges. Another thing I want to finish off with, oh no, I still have to go over upskilling. Sorry guys, I'm running out of time. Upskilling. Okay, so the most important interview questions that are asked nowadays is, what have you done in the past year to improve yourself? And this is a question that I literally get blank faces at, and they go, I started dieting. I walk once a week now. No, I've started teaching my daughter how to read. And as someone who's looking for a potential staff member, I go, that's nice, but I'm talking about work. So a lot of people don't achieve in their jobs anymore. A lot of people just think doing what they're doing is fine. But if you're not moving forward, you're actually moving backwards because the entire workforce is moving ahead of you. And so although you're in the same spot, you're actually being left far behind. If you don't improve yourself, you're getting left behind. And again, there's nothing wrong with not studying a degree. There's nothing wrong with doing an extra course or two if you don't have money, because not everyone has money to further themselves. But there's so many ways you can further yourself that don't cost anything. Please don't let money be your excuse. I can't afford to study a degree, that's why I'm not furthering myself. And I say there are so many more ways you can further yourself. I mean, for example, my boss does coaching, and I can say, well, actually, my boss has been coaching me personally on sales skills. I've coached me once a month, and she's given me tasks to do. I've been trying to improve my KPI for this and that. You know, that's improvement. You're doing something there. Don't think that by me asking you what you've done to improve yourself, it has to be something big and impressive. It really doesn't. All I want want to see from you is that you are trying to move yourself forward. Ways in which you can do this: reading books. I cannot tell you how many business books I have, and I can lend them all to you if you want. So by you saying I don't have money to buy a book, that's not an excuse. You can borrow a book from anyone. Books like From Good to Great, the Start with Why, big business books like that. They're big names, and when I hear you've read them, I go, me too, and then we get along fine, and I like you, So reading really big business books and the big names like Simon Sinek and whatnot, it's actually really good because you'll connect with the interview on different levels. So reading books, online free courses. I cannot tell you how many free courses have become available during this lockdown. You might think that everything's gone to the dogs now, this whole thing has happened, but it's actually a lot of good that's come out of it. So I know Udemy is one of them. There's a couple other websites that do free online courses, completely free. Now, they're not fantastic. They're not, can't get a degree with them. You probably couldn't even get a job with them, but it just shows you progressing. So when I ask you, what have you done in the past year to improve yourself? You say, I've done 3 courses on graphic design. They were only 2 days each, but I did them through this website, and they were really interesting. I really enjoyed furthering myself. I learned a lot more. That's so impressive, and they're free. So don't let money be your excuse. Let's just say you're not a reader. Let's say you don't like reading. There are people like that. You can actually increase your work capacity and sort of improve yourself by asking for more work. Now, I know a lot of you are laughing at me thinking, I'm so overworked. If you have jobs, you might be thinking, I'm so overworked, there's no ways I could ask for more work. Or I'm unemployed, how can I ask for more work? But if you have opportunity to be employed and you want to further yourself, you can just ask for more responsibility. And I mean, they'll happily give it to you, probably not pay you anymore. But there are other ways to improve yourself. So you might, it's like cutting your nose to spite your face. No, why should I do more? The company's already underpaid me for everything I do. But let's just say that they implemented a new system called Zero. And actually, Zero is the way of the future. A lot of accounting companies are using it now. But your job does not require Zero at all. But you know what? You learning how to use it and taking your own initiative to learn that program can help you get a job. Because I've got 2 jobs right now that need Zero, and will not touch anyone about it. So don't be short-sighted. Don't think, oh, this company sucks. They're not paying me enough. Why should I even help them with anything more? Think of it like improving yourself, improving your CV, improving your experience. Because when you say there, I took the initiative and I learned Zero by myself, that is huge. Didn't cost you any money either, it just costed you time. So those are ways to improve yourself. Do not be content with how you are now. You need to constantly be striving to achieve more. So that was basically my last point. So I've touched on things like building a network, using social media, cleaning up your social media, cleaning up your LinkedIn, building your LinkedIn properly through adding contacts. I've also touched quite a lot on applications. I think I spent most of my time there, sorry, on how not to send CVs, how to send CVs, how to send emails, etc. Believe it or not, there's a lot more I can talk about. I love my job and I love recruitment and I love helping people. So if you have any questions at all, please, you can take your time now to write them out. Let's try and stop sharing there. What you can do, there is actually a chat section for this. You're more than welcome to ask me any questions right now if you want to. If it's anything personal or long-winded, you can email me. I'll write my email address in the chat section. Otherwise, I've covered the basics of everything I wanted to cover today. My point of today's webinar was to teach you how to stand out. I know some of you might be looking at this and thinking it's so much work. Like, why must I even do this? We are here to learn to stand out from an overcrowded job market. If you were a software developer, we would hunt you, we would find you because we need them so much. But unfortunately, if you're not in a highly sought after industry, people aren't going to be searching for you. So you have to make it easy for us to find you if we happen to have a job available. You need to be resilient, and it's the worst because I've had some candidates who keep on applying for every single one of my jobs, and I say, honey, you don't meet the requirements. I can't send your CV. I'm so sorry. And they go, but they then apply for the next job. And I think, well, kudos to you for having the resilience, honestly, because I'd probably give up after a few applications of someone saying no to me. And eventually, you know what happens? Is eventually the right job comes through. I promise you it does come through. So it just takes time. Please do not be I see so many candidates who get so upset and they go, I have been applying for everything. It's been a year now. I don't care anymore. You know, what's wrong with me? And I think, well, there's nothing wrong with you. But now the fact you've let this frustration get to you and you're almost taking it out on me who has nothing to do with what's been happening, you're now putting yourself at a disadvantage. So I know it's so difficult, but don't let the bad side of this put you down. Don't appear put down. You know, hide it well. You might be disappointed because you've been unemployed for a year, but don't show it. Be energetic, be thoughtful, be responsive to anyone who ever asks you any questions about your CV. Trust me, when they're asking questions, it means they're interested. And if they don't get back to you, it's not meant to be. And I know it's been a long time that some of you might have been unemployed. I know how difficult it is. It's not an easy market, especially now with the coronavirus. You know, our jobs are, I mean, the ones that are available are paying next to nothing. So it's just a tough market. Try hang in there, use all my tips, upgrade everything, and just keep your chin up, keep trying. It really, really helps if you keep a positive attitude, because recruiters often recruit via feeling. Like if we can when we eventually meet you, we can sense your vibe. And if you're a very down, quiet, and just defeated vibe, you're not really making us want to hire you. You know, you need to keep your energy up, keep your chin up. And even though you've had a lot of no's in the past, I could say yes. But by you being so negative, I want to say no as well. So just keep your chin up, keep the energy up. Please do not take it personally. I mean, I've seen firsthand people apply for jobs and they get so angry with me that I haven't accepted them. I know how frustrating it is, but don't let your emotion take a toll on you. Okay, so I'm looking through the questions now. Yes, I'm making a recording, so we will have the recording up on YouTube after this. Brilliant. Awesome. Okay, well, thanks, guys. Really lovely to chat to all of you. I hope I've helped. I love talking about this stuff. So if you ever want to know more, I mean, if any of you want tips on your CV, I have a template I can send you. Again, I can send you Canva's website. You can have a look. But I can send you the basic layout of what recruiters require in the CV. You can just email me and ask me for some tips on your CV. I'm very happy to do that. But thanks so much, guys. I'm Nikki from Pro Talent Recruitment. Thank you for your time. And if you ever need to know anything more, you can email me. We can do another webinar on something even more exciting. So just let me know. All right. Thanks, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.